Welcome out to West Lawrence, ladies and gentlemen. You know, we come out on occasion able to speak to various coaches. So now we caught up with Coach Slaughter, Coach Mike Slaughter, wrestling coach. And Coach, for months now, you've been working out in this wrestling room, and you put a lot of time into it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and so now the season's over. And anytime the season's over, you always have to look back and reflect on, I guess, your accomplishments, things you could have done better. And you got to feel pretty good about your first year here at West Lawrence.
I mean, yeah, I feel great. I mean, yes, we worked out and the season's over, but like I told my guys on the bus, the season is technically not over. Now we're just going to put in that little individual time so we can get over that hump. We were there this close, couldn't get over the hump, but next year we'll be ready.
All right, now this is your first year as a head coach. You put together a solid team. You went through duels, placed fourth, right?
Yes, sir.
You went through individuals. You had a couple people at place. Let's cover those and share with people who accomplished what this year.
Well, I like to start with my freshmen. I mean, I had some guys step in this year who, honestly, in the beginning, I saw that they had potential, but I didn't think they were going to be solid enough to overcome the odds that I put them in to see if they can be ready for the end of the season. So therefore, in the beginning of the season, I thought maybe I just need to take these guys to tougher tournaments to see how they do against adversity when they're down, against guys that are ranked and guys that have done a lot of stuff to be prepared for the end. Well, the end result showed. I had a freshman place fourth. I had one of my sophomores come back and battle back to get fourth. I had a guy that was out all last year with a broken ankle, broken foot, came back, placed fifth, should have been in the finals. And then I had my hard-working guy, Ben Deal, who's now a state champ. I mean, these guys go through a lot in this room, and just putting them through the practices and the formula that I got and the plans I have and see them actually believe in it is great.
Yeah. So, of course, Benjamin placing first or, one state this year. But you had a couple of, let's go through, you had a couple thirds or 1/3?
Yeah, I had Cameron Butler. Now, that kid, that's a great kid. All summer he kept saying, Coach, I'm going to win state this year. Coach, I'm going to place higher than fifth. Well, he did it. He did 2 places higher than he did last year. He got fifth. On the bus ride back, of course I'm hounding the kids about placing lower than what they should have got. I said, you got 2 places higher than last year. What's 2 places higher than this year for next year? And he was like, first, Coach. So hopefully I can push all those guys that got 4th, 3rd, 5th into that finals zone because you push those guys through, man, we're a scary team.
Yeah. And you look good all year. Now let's go ahead and the other placers, let's recognize those.
Okay, and I had Joseph Horn who got 5th. Joseph was one of my wrestlers that was out all last year with a broken hand and I think a broken foot. Just for him to come back and battle and actually place after taking the whole year off, that's amazing. He's a hard worker, man. And then Logan McGowan, who's my freshman, who was also a surprise. He took off all last year, came back this year, was ready to go and place. And then I have Blake Beasley, who placed 3rd last year, placed lower this year. But Blake and I, we both taught, him, and Lawhorn stating, probably need to work harder. And Blake knows he can be a state champ. And then, was that 4 of them? Mm-hmm. And then I got Ben. Of course, Ben, he does, that kid will go over and beyond what you tell him to do. And for him to get first, man, he deserves it. He works hard. And, I had 2 of my seniors who I would like to see place, but just having them in the room to keep this team gelled together like they did, that helped, man.
Yeah.
We got a good squad.
And your seniors graduating this year, let's recognize them.
I got Will Johnson, who wrestled for 3 years. He had a hurt year. He lost a full year for tearing his shoulder up, but for him coming back and having the dedication that he had, man, that was a blessing. He's such a good kid. And then Ty Kite, man, he's one of those quiet leaders. He does all the right things on and off the mat, grade-wise, being respected to his elders. He does all the right stuff. So just losing those 2, it's like losing a state champion on your team. You're losing 2 state champions because they can keep a team gelled together.
Now, Coach, you mentioned Mitch earlier. That's Mitch Lawhorn.
Yes, sir.
Assistant coach. Mitch is there for you. He's there to help. He's there to keep the kids, in the right direction. Yeah. What do you say about Mitch?
Mitch, man, Mitch is an awesome guy. Mitch was a state runner-up, 2 years in a row. A lot of guys clown him because they think he don't know much about wrestling, but Mitch has been through it all. And Mitch is great with kids. I don't think anyone sees that because, you're really not around Mitch much. Yeah. But he's great with kids, and he's good at pushing the kids beyond their limit. And kids start recognizing that and start thanking him for it. But having Mitch this year has been a blessing.
Yeah. All right, now we can't talk about the most important assistant you have. That's your wife.
My wife. Yes, we can. We better. That girl, that lady does everything behind the scenes. schedules the hotels. She does, like, I'll tell you, she does all the busy work that I'm not used to doing, and she wants to do it because she likes to be a part of it. And having her and then Dina Horn and just all the parents we have, I mean, I thank everybody for the support just because this year has been a blessed year because of them.
Yeah. Well, Coach, we appreciate what you've done. We wish you success in the future. And, of course, we ask you out in the community, when you see the coaches, when you see the wrestlers, you know, pat them on the back and encourage them because it takes a lot of hard work, doesn't it?
Yes, sir, it does.
So why you love wrestling?
I love wrestling, man, because it pretty much saved my life, you know. I was going through a bad times when my mom got on drugs, and just getting in this sport, it pretty much kept me off the street, and it made me have determination to be better, because I've always said I'll be better than my mom, I'll be better than this person. With wrestling, you have to work hard at it, and just for me to be able to work hard on the mat, blood and sweat, then it makes me appreciate life even more, just because if I can do this sport's hard.
Yeah.
Then I can become a better human being. So it helped me.
And you imparting that into all these young men. If they'll do what you ask them to do, they'll be better young men.
Yes. Try to preach that as much as I can, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
No problem.